I quit sugar for 1 week. 1 full week of torture. I mean, of shorter amounts of sugar. Well, actually, no sugar at all. I not only gave up sugar, but I also gave up foods that turn to sugar. Bread, rice, potatoes, pasta? Basically foods that are high in carbs. But why? Why would I give up something that makes me happy? Gives me something to look forward to. Causes my brain to release copious amounts of dopamine, which makes me feel good. And I knew that I would. Well, it all started when I came across an article that told me my sugar addiction is comparable to a cocaine addiction and is therefore the evil of all evils. Well, they didn't say the evil part, but I bet I could find an article that does. BuzzFeed. And after reading more about sugar addiction, I began to think, do I have a sugar addiction? Could sugar be all that addictive? Well, according to Healthline.com, research on rats from Connecticut College have shown that Oreo cookies activate more neurons in the pleasure centers of the rats' brains than cocaine does. So apparently I would be better off having my coffee with cream and cocaine. Noted. So if sugar is more addictive than cocaine, then maybe it really is the evil of all evils and I should stop eating it. But that was not my only motivation to stop eating sugar. I also recently had a baby and my belly refuses to quit. Even though I keep asking it, would you just quit bouncing? Scaring the kids at the basketball court. So I want to beat my addiction. I want to lose the baby fat and I want to bounce in other places in life. Like a trampoline park. Because I've never been to one, and it sounds awesome. So with those desires in mind, I decided to go a month without sugar. But as you may notice from my title, I didn't make it a month. I only made it a week, and I realized that it was not the right decision. Why? Well, I will tell you 3 reasons why, but first, I want to show you what led up to this conclusion. No, right up here. Starting off, I was very optimistic that everything would go well. I stepped on my scale, weighing close to 165 pounds, with confidence that I'd be able to defeat the great dragon of belly bounce. Here are the before pictures so you can see what I was working with. After pictures to come. So I went to the grocery store and picked up a whole bunch of healthy food. Meats, vegetables, eggs, nuts, ice cream. Just kidding. No ice cream, but I daydreamed about it. Many, many times. Anyway, so I came home and made my first sugar-free meal of the night. A mixed salad with cashews, eggs, tomatoes, cheese, and avocados with oil and vinegar. It was surprisingly good. The first day was actually pretty easy. I think the hardest part was not being able to use my lifeline, hazelnut creamer. I had to buy heavy cream, and I couldn't even add sugar. Coffee without sugar. It's like a cruel, cruel joke. It sure is. On day 2, I woke up with a headache. That's how you know you're a true sugar addict, when the withdrawal symptoms start after only 1 day without sugar. My headache lasted through the entire day, and I was so tired that it felt like there were anchors on my eyelids. I could barely move. This is not a fun feeling when you have a baby because you have no choice. Moving, it's a requirement. By the 3rd day, I still had a headache. At this point, I had been eating a good amount of eggs, and I found that eggs taste incredible when you're not eating carbs. The yolk of an egg was like the cream filling of a donut. Who knew healthy foods could taste so good when you're depriving yourself? But one of the hardest parts of it all was not eating something sweet after a meal. I found myself returning to the fridge multiple times, searching for something more, only to feel disappointed each time. And then repeating this process until I finally decided that it was better to be unconscious than to stay awake and not be able to enjoy sugary treats while the kids were in bed. Meanwhile, my husband would eat them in front of me. Oh, how I cursed his name in my sleep. That no good ice cream eating, sugar loving, toilet seat up leaving. And that night when I went to sleep, what happened? The leg cramps began, as if pregnancy didn't serve enough of those to me during the 3rd trimester. Suddenly they returned, and I was having PTSD. Okay, maybe I'm being a little dramatic, but they hurt, and I didn't understand why I was having them again. So in the morning on the 4th day, I called up my dad to talk to him about it. This is my dad. He started the keto diet in 2014. which is basically the diet I'm doing now. No sugar, low carbs, and high fat. And he loved the diet so much that he has made it a lifestyle change. I'm serious. He's been on it for 8 years. With concern for his inhuman, non-sugar loving ways, we called the psychiatric hospital. However, there was no room for him at the time, but it brought many positive changes to his health. He lost 35 pounds, it lowered his blood pressure, made him feel less sleepy during the day, and it gave him more energy. So after 7 years, he knows a lot about this diet and therefore was very familiar with leg cramps on keto. He told me that leg cramps are caused by having a lack of sodium, potassium, and magnesium. And therefore, it's important to get a magnesium supplement, add more salt to your food, and eat more potassium-rich foods such as avocados. Now, my dad is not a doctor, so I did look up the information as well, and healthline.com confirmed everything he said. So I went to the store and I picked up some magnesium, avocados, and I oversalted my food. Did it help? Yes, I'd say it did, but it was kind of annoying to have to remember to eat avocados, which are not my favorite food. So by day 5, things began to get a little easier. My cravings were almost non-existent that day. It was nice. Sugarless coffee even started to taste better. Today, my coffee doesn't taste so bad. On day 6, I realized I was running out of food already. Not only did I go shopping less than a week ago, but that grocery shop was more expensive than my typical grocery shop. And now I'm gonna have to go shopping again a week earlier than I usually do. Rest in peace to my bank account. This diet is not cheap. So I went back to the store to pick up more food. And also, my cravings weren't so bad this day either. But come day 7, the cravings returned with a vengeance. I'm not sure what it was about day 7 that made me crave sugar so much. Maybe because it was a Sunday and therefore a more relaxing day for me, where I like to watch more TV than usual. And I do like to pair my bad habits together, binging TV while eating a bowl of ice cream. It's like a Tinder date for your dopamine receptors. Though I never use Tinder. My husband and I actually met on Facebook. Much cooler than Tinder. We were very hip and in with the times back in the day.
Just a young player that the West Side made me.
I struggled though. I had to have my husband hide the chocolate chip trail mix. And I also went to bed earlier, again, because there's no enjoyment in watching Gilmore Girls if I can't watch it while simultaneously picking out all of the chocolate chips from the trail mix bag. And who the heck would pick out the nuts and leave the chocolate? Only Hitler would do that. Okay, so after 7 days of doing this, one might ask, what are the benefits of cutting sugar and carbs? Well, first of all, I barely ever felt hungry. In fact, it felt like I could eat just 2 meals a day and that would be enough. There's something about cutting sugar and eating fats that keep you full longer, and as a mom, it can be hard to find time to eat, so it was nice not spending the day feeling hungry, which is usually how I spend my days because granola bars, they just don't cut it. Another benefit is that I didn't feel extremely sleepy right after a meal. I could eat and then the food would actually give me energy like God intended food to do. Unlike how I feel after a bowl of pasta, where I have to pinch myself to figure out if I'm fully conscious or not. Carbs are good, but they sure make you sleepy. And the other benefit is that I lost 5 pounds in just 1 week. Yes, you heard that right. It's most likely just water weight. No, it's definitely just water weight. But you gotta check out these before and after pictures. This was the most surprising part. My belly looks a lot better after just 1 week of not eating sugar. Imagine if I went the whole month. But you will just have to keep imagining because the diet didn't work for me. And here's 3 reasons why. The first reason is time. You have to cook a lot. No more, hey, grab a frozen pizza, or let's throw together a sandwich. Almost every meal needs your time and attention to prepare and cook. And as a mom, I don't have all the time in the world to cook 2 meals. I barely have time to check Facebook. Okay, let's be serious now. All right. But you may be asking, why would you cook 2 meals anyway? Why not have all of your family eat the same meal? Well, first of all, it's not easy to get a 4-year-old to eat meat and vegetables, as you may know if you're a mom. But also, my husband can't be on a high-fat diet due to gallbladder issues, so if he eats too many fats, it will make him sick. Sometimes when he forgot to change the toilet paper roll, I would consequently cook him a high-fat dinner, but I don't like to make him suffer for no reason at all. So yes, I cook 2 meals a night, and that was a lot of work. I have a baby. I don't have time for that. The second reason is money. This diet is expensive. I had to go to the store twice a week and I spent close to $200. That's a lot of money for 2 adults and a 4-year-old. With that amount of money, we probably could have eaten out every night. It's twice the amount of money we normally spend on groceries. We don't have $200 to spend each week on groceries. You may think YouTubers are rich, and some are, but I am not. We have goals. We're saving up for a car, we want to be debt-free, and this diet does not help with those goals, especially when I have to cook 2 different meals a night. And the third reason, which is the main reason I had to stop this diet, may surprise you. As some of you know, I just had a baby a few months ago and I'm breastfeeding. As the days went by, I started to notice that my baby was becoming very fussy during her meal times, and I couldn't figure out why. Until day 7, when I decided to use my breast pump and practically nothing came out. I pumped for 30 minutes and only got a half an ounce of milk. I started to research it and found a handful of women on Reddit that said their milk supply either dried up or just lowered significantly while doing the same diet. My baby was only 2 months. I didn't want to stop nursing her that early. I had to stop for the sake of my baby because formula is very expensive. So could this diet be for you? Maybe. It's a great diet. It's helped a lot of people, including my dad, and it's good for weight loss. When I'm in a different place in life, I could try it again. But for now, maybe I should just keep eating carbs and cut down on added sugar, because I think we can all agree that sugar is not healthy for you. And speaking of being healthy, you know what else is healthy? Walking 10,000 steps a day. I did it for 30 days and you can see the results of how that went right here. Go ahead, click it. Sit down with a cup of coffee full of hazelnut creamer and let's learn about the benefits of walking. This one is much easier than cutting sugar, just saying.